So it's been announced that Jamal Hill has got a replacement opponent for his fight at UFC 303 on the Conor McGregor vs Michael Chandler card, and he will be facing Blackjack Carlos Ulberg. I think this is a way worse matchup for Jamal Hill. I'm just gonna start this off. I thought Jamal Hill was gonna smoke Khalil Roundtree. I'm just gonna put it out there. Khalil Roundtree's a fun fighter and stuff like that. And seems like a good dude, but I think he's like one of the most overrated fighters in the UFC, and I will fucking stand by this. I thought Jamal Hill was gonna knock him the fuck out. I really did. Uh, but this matchup with Blackjack is so much harder for him. He's fighting a more athletic fighter, a bigger fighter. I think he might have the same reach or even longer reach than Jamal Hill. He is not a guy who could make middleweight. Khalil Roundtree is a former middleweight. Uh, like, it's just no way in fucking hell you would ever get Carlos Ulberg down that small. He's a freak of an athlete. I've seen him in person. He's even fucking bigger in person. Like, trust me, this guy's massive. Like, this guy's fucking huge. And I think stylistically, sorry. I think this is a tough matchup for Jamal Hill, man. Carlos Ulberg, good leg kicks. A lot of people are going to bring up that Kennedy Nchikwi loss. Like, oh, he lost to Kennedy Nchikwi. He's a fraud. He's gone on a 6-fight fucking finishing streak or a 5-fight finishing streak, 6-fight winning streak. He did beat Ihor Pateria, Fabian Charant, but Nikolai, he's not a bad win there. Alonzo Medifield, Da Jung Un, like he's I will say his level of competition is not the greatest, but he passes the eye test. And in the light heavyweight division, none of this shit even fucking matters. Like, really, level of competition at light heavyweight really doesn't matter because light heavyweight sucks. Like, light heavyweight's a shit division, but if you just look at the eye test here, Carlos Ulberg, he passes the eye test. He's good. He's like I would say like he's got that like Conor McGregor type left hook. Not saying he fights like McGregor or anything like that, but he is a really good fighter and he's very athletic. Like that is something you got to factor in here. Jamal Hill is a bit of a pudgy guy. Let's just say that he's not really like super athletic. He's got the cardio advantage here. I could see him maybe breaking Carlos Ulberg late here, but the thing is, I think Carlos Ulberg's learnt from that Kennedy Nchikwi loss. Like he's not going out there and he's not just just putting all output out there. And in that fight, Kennedy Nchikwi had the best chin in the UFC in that fight. I think that fight generally took his chin because since then he's not been able to take shots right. But Carlos Ulberg threw that fucking many shots. Of course he's going to gas out. I don't think that's a testament to his cardio or anything like that. I think he is I think his cardio is really good. Like he's a big guy and he was throwing that fucking much over and over again against Kennedy Nchikwi. I think he's a good fighter. I think this is a good stylistic matchup for him. And we also got to factor in here, man. Jamal Hill's coming off getting knocked out by Alex Pereira, like brutally. Like he was out cold. He got knocked out, woken up, knocked out again, woken up. Like that is not a KO loss you can just come right back from. There's a lot of examples like Volk against fucking Islam. That was a 3-month turnaround and we seen him get knocked out. Jamal Hill's coming back after 2 months. Like 2 months, not even 2 months I don't think, because he got knocked out in April. It's going to be in the end of June. Okay, yeah, so it will be 2 months, but like that's fucking insane. That is a ridiculous comeback time for him. Like he's not... Like, most people aren't even back sparring after 2 months after getting knocked out how he did, and he's rushing right back in there. I know it sounds like very counterproductive because I was picking him to beat Khalil Roundtree, but I just don't think Khalil Roundtree has this sort of stylistic, not even stylistic advantages, but like just the physical advantages that Carlos Ulberg has. Carlos Ulberg is just fucking massive, and he is powerful. I think he can just land that hook on Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill is very lead leg heavy. We've seen Alex Pereira start chewing up his leg. Even Glover Teixeira was chewing up the leg in that fight. And I think Carlos Ulberg can really use a lot of the mistakes that Jamal Hill used against Alex Pereira, because when you look at it, yeah, he got knocked out and, people learn from their mistakes. But he's only got 2 months to change his whole fighting habits, against a whole very similar type of stylistic matchup now. Carlos Ulberg ain't no Alex Bahia. I'm not saying he's got the death touch in his left hook, but he's still very powerful. When your chin is compromised and you're not fully recovered, there is a good shot that Carlos Ulberg's going to knock him out cold here. I think he's going to boot up the leg, can beat up the body. I can see him just heaping up the body of Jamahal Hill. Jamahal Hill, like I say, he's pudgy. He's got a chubby body. Now maybe that helps him with the cardio and stuff like that, but Carlos Ulberg, if he just keeps going to that breadbasket over and over again, Jamahal Hill isn't going to be able to put on that crazy pace that he did against Glover Teixeira. I'm not underrating. I'm not underrating Jamahal Hill here. He's got a solid chance to win this. He's going to be the more prepared man, but like I say, coming off a KO loss and you're going against Carlos Ulberg this quickly, like, we know Carlos Ulberg is a sharpshooter. That's the best way you can say it. He's very precise. And I think he can get the right shot to put Jamahal Hill out here. But I'm excited for this. I think this, in my opinion, this is a much better fight than the Khalil Roundtree fight. The Khalil Roundtree fight was sick too, don't get me wrong. I hope we see that fight somewhere down the line. But I think Carlos Ulberg versus Jamahal Hill is more competitive. Like, I really do think this is like a 50-50 fight. But who knows? Jamahal Hill has beat the better level of competition, but I don't think that matters too much a light heavyweight. Even then, like, look at Ilia Topuria. Like, who's he beat? His best win's Josh Emmett. Like, yeah, it was. And he went and slept Volk, like the fucking greatest fighter, pound for pound in the UFC at one point in time. And again, he did get knocked out before that. But then you look at some other examples, like, in my opinion, Steve Erceg beat Pantoja, or at the very least had the most competitive fight with Pantoja. Who was his best win? Fucking, Matt Schnell, fucking David Dvorak. Like, level of competition is not an indicator of who's going to win, unless it's like they've fought complete cans. But if you're in the UFC and you fought UFC level competition, there's always a chance that that person will win the fight. I know it sounds repetitive, me saying this, but it's just a fact when you look at it. Like, too many people factor in level of competition. Like, how the fuck's anyone ever going to rise up a division if people are just looking at it from the lens of, well, he hasn't beat anyone, so don't give him that guy. He doesn't deserve that fight. Like, it just doesn't make sense. To get those fights, you need to beat lesser competition to get to those fights. But we'll find out. We'll find out if Carlos Ulberg is on that level. And if he wins, it's a title shot for me. Like, he should be next up for Alex Bahia, in my opinion. The storyline's there, that if, maybe Alex Bahia KOs Carlos Ulberg and says, Izzy, come on, move up to 205, he's like, come to daddy, I just knocked out your boy. Like, maybe he does something like that. Who knows? Or maybe Carlos Ulberg sleeps him and then, Izzy will start claiming that as a victory. He's like, well, I'm 2-2 against that guy now. Or, no, how many times has fucking Bahia won now? It's like 3 or 4? 3 times, I think. 3 times, yeah. So he'd be like, yeah, well, I'm 2-3 against that guy now, I don't settle scores. I let my friends do it for me, I don't know. I feel fucking make up some line, but I don't know. That could be generally next. Maybe we get Carlos Ulberg for the title shot. Or maybe him versus Magomed Ankalaev when he gets to the title shot. I don't fucking know what they're going to do. Maybe him versus Yuri. I don't know. Plenty of options, man. But this is a cool fight. I'm glad. A lot of people hating on it, but I reckon this is a sick fucking fight. This is an awesome fight. Carlos Ulberg's a fucking fun fighter to watch. His Fabian Charant performance wasn't, but that was coming off the KO loss to Kennedy Nchikwi. He's obviously got his confidence back. After these 5 knockouts, beat Tafon Nchikwi, then he beat Nikolai, I'm not even going to say his last name, beat Ihor Peteria. After Peteria, I think it was Dahan Young, and then he just slept Alonzo Menifield. But yeah, like I say, I don't think it's going to be as easy as the Menifield fight. I don't think Jamahal who's going to run out there swinging like a fucking idiot. But who knows, maybe he does that, and maybe Carlos Ulberg just immediately sleeps him. But I doubt that's going to be the case. I think we're going to see a bit of a tentative Jamahal Hill here, and I think he's just going to get his legs kicked up a bit. I think he's not going to throw as much as he normally does. And I think if you're playing that sort of game, I think Carlos Ulberg, being at CKB, he's got like that, if he really needs to go to it, he's got that point scoring type system where he can just kick up the legs, beat up the body a bit, and I think he can get a decision. But I see him getting a TKO/KO here just because I think Jamahal Hill will fight a bit reckless once he does get going. I think he'll start to build some confidence in this fight. You start throwing some heavy hands, and I think he's going to get caught with a left hook. But we'll see what happens, man. Jamahal's got a good shot here, but I'm going to go with Carlos Ulberg. Let me know your prediction in the comment section, and I'll see you guys next time. Could be a title shot. Carlos Ulberg could get a fucking title shot. I remember people saying he should retire after the Kanine and Chikwi fight. That's why losses don't really mean jack shit in those heavier weight classes. You get like one win, you get your confidence back, and like look at Kanine and Chikwi now. Like look at him. He's on like he just lost a fucking OSP. Like he just lost an old man OSP, and Carlos Ulberg's like a fight away or 2 fights away from getting a title shot potentially. Like just how the sport moves, man. Losses they mean jack shit. Like. Really, MMA math, like they say, doesn't make sense, but yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know your predictions. I'll see you guys next time. Like, comment, subscribe, and I should have an interview for you guys tomorrow as well. I'm going to start doing more of these videos, though, because this is how I started my channel, doing these sorts of videos, and I've been slacking on these. I've just been doing the interviews, but I'll start doing news breakdowns and stuff like that again, help grow the channel. But make sure you share this video, get some more subscribers. Let's get to 1,000. That would be fucking awesome. Like, we're so close. We're so close, guys. Come on. Let's do it. But anyway, yeah, cheers. Have a good rest of your day.